Hey, welcome back to Travels Large. I'm getting near the end of my 14-night transatlantic voyage. Being the first time going across the Atlantic, there's some things I learned along the way that I think would help somebody who is going to make this voyage themselves. First thing I think you should know is transatlantic voyages typically depends on the itinerary, take anywhere from 6 all the way to 14, maybe even more days. So that's one thing you need to be prepared for before going is you're going to be spending a lot of time at sea without seeing any land. This cruise itself, we have had 9 consecutive sea days, had 1 port of call, and unfortunately the weather is starting to get worse. So we had to cancel the rest of our ports of call, and we're just heading straight to Southampton to finish our cruise. So we had 1 port of call for a 14-night cruise, where originally we had 3. So that's one thing you need to be prepared for. On a cruise like this, the weather can be very unpredictable. As you can see behind me, the weather has changed quite a bit since the beginning of this voyage when it was sunny and really nice out. Today it is 50 and the waves are getting higher and higher. So that's one thing you need to be ready for, is the weather can change. So when you pack for a cruise like this, it's one thing to keep in mind. Third thing, ports of call, research them ahead of time. You never know what you might find. It'll be worth your time to research them, because we stopped in Funchal, which I wasn't exactly excited about, but when we got there, it was actually a lot of fun. So I would have missed out if I didn't research ahead of time. So that is one tip I would definitely give somebody who's doing this cruise. Another thing to keep in mind, these cruises are typically more budget friendly. Some of these cruises start at $50 to $75 per person per night, which is a really good deal. So that's one thing. Also though, keep that in mind, because you're going to need to budget for extra spending at the spa, the bar, things like that. So keep that in mind as well. Another idea to be prepared for is seasickness. Depends on how motion sick you can get. I would recommend on a voyage like this taking some remedies to help you. I recommend personally Dramamine and sea bands. That's what I use. Some people get the patches that go behind their ears. I haven't used those, but I've heard people that have had a lot of good luck with those. So I'll have links below in the description to what I use. That way you can take advantage of that. On a cruise this long, one thing the staff on board will do is they'll have a lot of activities planned throughout the day. That way there's always something to do. So what I recommend, try something new. Try a dance lesson, go to a dance class, try a culinary class on board, or heck, we went to boat races earlier, which people built their own boats for the race, which I thought was really cool, and they raced those. So there's something throughout the day, and if not, relaxing is wonderful on a ship like this, because you're out in the middle of nowhere. Take some time, relax, take a break from your busy life, and just enjoy some sea days. On a 14-night cruise, that should give you ample time to try all the dining on board. Try something new, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. You never know what you might like. And also, a part of that dining, be prepared for more formal nights. Now, a lot of cruise lines are getting away from that, but I'm currently on Princess, where they still do formal nights. So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't bring any tuxes on this, so the buffet is where I go. But you can also dress up and enjoy the formal nights as well. So there's options either way. And heck, 14 nights, get out of your comfort zone. You ain't gonna see these people again. The 8th thing that I think is important, put some thought into what cabin you want. You're gonna be on here 14 nights. An interior room might be too cramped for you, or you may not find the value in a balcony where how much sea can you really see? Like, this is the weather today. With weather like this, I think you can save a few bucks, but it's up to you. I mean, it's what is important to you at the end of the cruise. Unlike a lot of cruises where you start and end in the same port, On a transatlantic, you're not going to do that. So you definitely, most important thing I can say throughout this entire video is you need a passport. Make sure you have one. I spent extra time making sure my son has one. I had to make a special trip just to get him one for this cruise. So make sure you have a passport. Also think of the one-way airfare. Yeah, it's probably going to be cheap to get to a US port, but to fly home from London or, for instance, Barcelona, is going to cost a little bit more. So make sure you budget for that ahead of time. My 10th and final tip, if you are traveling with children on an adult-oriented cruise such as Princess or Cunard, just to name a couple, Seabourn, some of your nicer cruise lines, not as much family-oriented, make sure, while they do have kids clubs, make sure you have some plans also on your own, just in case they get tired of the kids club, or if they want to stay in the room or something. So on board Princess, they do got a lot of movies that are family oriented, which is wonderful. My son likes to watch those. So but you might bring along some stuff that they're interested in, like I brought a Nintendo Switch for him to play on. That way he has something to do as well that interests him while we're not at the pool or doing a show or something of that orientation. So if you found any of this information helpful, definitely please feel free to hit the subscribe button. That way you can see more tips, reviews, cabin tours, ship tours. I have it all here for you. And if there's anything you'd like to see, leave it in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to make videos about it. That way I can bring you along on my travels and we can enjoy travel in the world together. In a small world, travel's large.